our office quite a few, and I will tell you, Michael and Aaron and all the guys there are just phenomenal with their clients. They will be actually at the Model Center ready to treat you like VIPs as they usually do, and bring you around the models if you'd like more information. So, without further ado, I wanted to start, obviously I started by thanking everyone for attending here, and we certainly do appreciate it. The reason why we put these events together was really to improve the professionalism within the real estate industry and help with collaboration. As you can see, most of the agents here are in different companies. We all, there's a lot of business out there, and we all sell each other's listings, and we all talk to one another. And the more civil and more professional we talk to each other, the better. And this is an opportunity to meet and network with each other and hope that we promote all of our listings. And there's a lot of business out there, so we certainly do appreciate it. I want to thank our sponsors, Instant Commission, Steve Sokol, Cross Country Mortgage with Craig Stelzer, Goosehead Insurance with Justin Ross, Golden Gate Moving with Diego, there he's over on the left, American Van Lines with Brian McGuire, there he is, and I really wanted to thank you because they donated the raffles for today, and we will be doing that at the end. All right, so our 4 speakers are very well known within our industry. We have our first speaker, which is Sonata Odzum from Douglas Elliman. Kristen Stampini from RE/MAX Services. Kinsey Agler, broker owner of RE/MAX Stream in Fort Myers. And Leanna Fruin from Engel and Boca. All these ladies have wonderful stories, and we will get into those right now. First, I guess the first question, and we'll start with Leanna. Why did you decide to pursue a career in real estate, and what did you do before real estate?
Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for Thank you very much for taking the time to come and support this event. I'm very honored to be up here with these beautiful ladies. I started a career in real estate because I wanted to be rewarded for my drive and efforts, and I felt that in real estate, the sky was the limit. You could really do as well as you saw yourself doing.
Hi, I'm Kinsey. Nice to see you all. Thank you all for coming out. So I started my career in real estate at about 20 years old. I had graduated college with a fashion design degree, and I had $150,000 worth of student loans to pay off. And I couldn't pay them off with my fashion design degree, so I figured, what is the most expensive thing you can sell to make the highest commission? Houses. And then I realized that I really loved helping people, and so that is really where it all started, because I think putting people into a home, moving people, and the day-to-day experiences of all of the people that you get to interact with, it's just a beautiful thing.
Sorry, can you hear me? No? Yeah? Is it on? You're loud. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, so, hello. Thank you all for coming to such a great event today. I managed restaurants for 18 years. And as some of you guys can imagine, Cheesecake Factory's general manager, different J. Alexander's, California Pizza Kitchens. And I basically moved 14 times in 10 years, all across the country, working about $85 a week. So I decided one day, let me grow up at about the age of 40, that I moved down to Florida where I knew nobody but my mom, okay? And I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life and to start it over. Well, just so you know, I didn't have a dime to my name now, okay? So I was bankrupt and broke, moved to Florida, didn't know what I wanted to do, moved in with my mom at 40 years old. So my mom's like, why don't you get into real estate? And I said, there's no way I want to do real estate. Well, while I was living in a 450 square foot apartment and paying $600 for rent at the age of 40, knowing nobody and broke, I was waiting tables at Houston's restaurant now in Pompano Beach on the water, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And so basically what I did is I got my real estate license, and I had no money, working 2 jobs for 2 years, okay? And I worked full-time on both jobs, starting over. My entire life at 40 is a tough thing to do, but that's what I did. And so today I can say that I own 5 businesses and doing really well with a real estate team, and love everything that I do, but it was hard work, and starting over again at the age of 40 is a tough thing, so that's my story.
I started my career at the age of 13 in Sarajevo, Bosnia, and I worked for the United Nations. That was a bit of a crazy job in the middle of war-torn Bosnia. But it did prepare me, you know, living through a war really does prepare you for working in real estate. And I remember one day I'm like face down in mud and sniper bullets are like, you know, zooming above my head and I don't know if I'm gonna live or die. And I kept thinking like, you know, I think there's something more to life than this. And occasionally, you know, even in this career, sometimes think that as well. But I fell into real estate really after I came to the US, having witnessed so much destruction. It was really exciting to be in the real estate development world where you build things instead of seeing them disappear in ashes. So I fell into real estate by having a meeting at the Trump Organization. And I got hired, started as an analyst, eventually became the VP of Marketing of Trump International. So no politics, please. And I loved it. It was just so fabulous and fascinating because working in the world of UN or diplomatic world, you have to be very proper and you have to watch what you say. And then you work for Donald. And it was fun. I loved it. My biggest really change in real estate came in 2006, just before the market went like nosedive. I moved to Florida for a career and was Pam Lehman of Corcoran. I hope, Ingrid, don't tell Howard Lorber I speak highly of Pam Lehman. Pam Lehman, who's a powerhouse in New York, hired me. She said, pick any project you want. And that's really my forte, pre-development. She offered me San Francisco, New York, and Boca. And I'm like sitting there in New York. I'm sure you all know I work like 15-hour days, 6 days a week. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, can I go to Boca? So I'm really happy and proud and I'm loving it here. So that's how I started. But I also, what I really want to start with is to thank everyone and acknowledge everyone for their support of such an amazing cause. There's so many amazing women and survivors of breast cancer and other cancers, and we have some dear friends here who are such rock stars. So as a survivor of something else in my life, I have so much respect and appreciation for everyone who supports such an amazing cause.
So thank you for sharing those stories. You know, there are a lot of niches out there in the real estate business and the real estate industry. We'll start with you, Sam, and go down. What made you kind of the niche that you chose? I guess you kind of elaborate a little bit on it, but help build your business.
I started in pre-development marketing and sales, so it's similar to what they're doing here. You're selling a dream. You have to create something amazing, and I just loved it so much because you get to be involved from the planning stages, and you get to design the floor plans, and you have to envision how you or your clients would want to live, and where they would want to have, how big the closet should be. We know how big in Florida. All these details, and working with architects and development teams. So that is one of my biggest passions. Actually, we just launched a project in East Boca Raton called Alina Residences. It took us 5 years to get everything designed and approved, and we're really proud of that effort. And it's like having, I haven't had any children except for my adopted son, just kidding, my stepson, and Jake is there. But what a lot of women in the industry say, it's like giving birth. It's a big baby, okay? It's like $1 billion high-rise or something. So that's sort of what my background is and what my passion is. But once I discovered what's it like working with clients, like amazing people, and you sort of go on that emotional journey with them, that really excites me because there's a human side to it. It's not just, you're not just sitting at a desk. So that's really exciting, the sales aspect and the general real estate.
Yes, what is?
So when I first started with real estate and I was working 2 jobs because I was waiting tables and I was trying to get my real estate career, going because I didn't have any money to support it, I said, what can I do to make a difference in people's lives? And it's not just selling homes. It's not just selling new food. And so I thought, my hardship is other people's hardship as well. And what had happened during the time that I got my real estate license is what? It was short sales, okay? And it was, what could I do to make a difference in people's lives? Because they were hurting so bad at where they were at today. And a lot of these people, they never could imagine where they were. And I felt that, with my background in management, okay, because, I've managed 300 people. And so, in understanding, because I have been through a hardship, so knowing more than anybody else how it is to be through a hardship, I thought where I could make a difference in people's lives is through short sales. And boy, did I do it with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And so what I did is I took it by the hands and I went to every single training I could. Actually, Ellen was one of the first people that I went and saw at the Serle's office, and she was awesome because she was the attorney there, and she was doing short sales. So I went to every single thing that I possibly could, and I learned short sales like the back of my hand. And what I would do is I would go and I would end up, I literally, guys, I had 40 and 50 listings at once doing short sales, and I was able to just manage it because people could feel that I cared. And that was it. And I made differences in people's lives, and that's what was really important to me. And it is still today, but that's where my niche started.
That's awesome. And I'm very similar to Kristen, except I started a little bit earlier than you. So I started with residential sales, which turned into the real estate boom. So I was sitting behind my desk. It was lot after spec home, after spec home, after spec home, and then the bubble burst. And we had to start short selling homes. And just like Kristen, I went from being kind of an order taker to dealing with people's feelings and dealing with people's emotions. Because the beginning of my real estate career, it wasn't about homes, it was all about brick and mortar. And now when you start seeing people losing their homes and dealing with their emotions, it's a completely different ballgame when you're helping them out of a bad situation and putting them into a better situation. And from that, I decided that I was going to continue my journey with helping people by opening my own RE/MAX franchise and my own brokerage. So now that I could give that same love and support that I've given to my clients over the years to my team of agents.
Okay. I started out my career when I was 18 as an international flight attendant. And I love to travel and visit every unique place all around the world. But then I had a family and 2 children and found myself having to leave them for several days at a time sometimes with complete strangers so I could go to work. And at that point, I decided that I would do something that kept me home a little bit more. And I got my real estate career in California. I, shortly after that, moved to Florida and did both jobs for many, many years. And it wasn't easy, but I loved both things equally and could not give either either one up. So I developed a niche of meeting people from international destinations, not only helping them buying and selling their first home or their primary residence in Florida, but also with their multi-property portfolios. And it has really become a passion, both going out and meeting people in other countries and also selling South Florida to them because it's a special place.
So next question. We all have mentors or reasons why we got into the business. Some of us have business coaches. And do you have a mentor or someone who helped you throughout the business, if you could recognize him or her? And do you currently have a business coach, and who is he or she? I will start with you, Leon.
Okay. I am a walking contradiction of don't mix business with family. My husband, John, is my sounding board. He loves to tell me what to do. Sometimes I listen, and he can fix anything. I also have the pleasure and joy of having my daughter, Savannah, work with me on my team. And I feel like everybody at Engel and Volker, especially all the ladies and gentlemen here today, are part of my family. Additionally, Anthony Pitt, who is the CEO of Engel and Volker, has been very, very supportive. He is an excellent life coach, and he has really helped me grow myself, not only personally, but professionally, mostly from finding the fears within yourself that are holding you back and overcoming those fears to get to the next level.
So, I would like to say I don't have a coach that I pay money to. I do not have what I would say a direct mentor, but I would say that I can call David Serle at any time, and he will help coach me through whatever I'm dealing with. I met David about 5 years ago at a RE/MAX convention in Las Vegas, and I was a brand new broker owner of a RE/MAX franchise. I was the baby, and I have found within our network, there is an amazing network of people that are there to support you, give you advice, hold your hand, listen to you laugh, and listen to you cry. I have a group of about 10 women that we get together on a very regular basis. And through our Facebook groups, group text messages, we're always there to bounce ideas off of each other, to support each other's businesses, grow each other's businesses. I've had business coaches in the past, and I really think surrounding yourself with an amazing group of people that are going through exactly the same things that you go through in business is one of the best ways to move forward in your business and be successful.
$20. Thank you, that was very nice.
So when I had started in real estate, and I didn't really know, I was going out and trying to find all the classes with the boards, and amongst Keller Williams is who I was with at the time, and different things like that. I had gone to family reunion with Keller Williams, and it was in Orlando, and I literally saved up, money that I didn't really have, but it was, because it was so close, it was awesome, and I knew the way that I needed to grow was by education, okay? So I went there, and I had gone to a bunch of the classes, and all of a sudden, this guy, this coach that they had there, I went in and I saw his class, and I'm like, wow. And then the people like up here that were talking, I started, tears in my eyes, and I'm like, wow, I felt the people, and I felt the people that were coaching with him, and I just felt who he was, and I felt he was very sincere, that he wasn't just after my dollar, but he was after really the success of people, and that was Craig Proctor, okay? So Craig is my mentor, my life, okay? He has taken me, he's seen me cry, he's seen me fail, he's seen me grow, he's seen everything that I've done wrong. And basically what happened is through the years of working with Craig, and now I coach 70 people across North America for Craig, realtors, to be very successful in their businesses. I have a couple of my coaching members that are here. But he's taken me and he's been my mentor throughout everything. And so he's family to me, and all of the people, there are people that are with him for 20, 25 years, okay, that have been coaching with him, and I can't say enough about, he is my mentor.
So Tony Robbins is my guru. I know Tommy knows we're there on this stage jumping usually. I was on my own and I had to figure it out. So one of my friends suggested to, at the time, oh my God, it was a tape. I just aged myself like 20 years. I got my first Tony Robbins tape and I listened to it, and this is like high stress, insane environment in New York. And I'm like, wow, this dude is like amazing. So I started listening to Tony, and since I've been to Fiji and London and all over the world following different programs that they have, Business Mastery, Day with Destiny, etc., really changed my business tremendously, because it's not just about the business, it's about the business of human emotion and understanding really how to deal with your own emotions and dealing with your own past before you can serve others. And that was the biggest breakthrough that I had, being able to have closure on certain things that happened in my past, which was very traumatic, and then being able to create a possibility of being however many roles each and every one of us play, right? So I do have actually a coach every week. I don't know how she deals with me. Sometimes I listen to myself and I'm like, oh my God, I can just like go to the ocean and talk a little bit. I'm just kidding. But we're in a stressful career and business, and we have to play in so many different roles, in so many different ways, and I just think it's phenomenal to have that person or coach. I also have one of my mentors here, Carol Cadover, who is one of the most incredible human beings, the most beautiful woman inside and out, and she is a breast cancer survivor. I have to just say something about her. So when she was diagnosed, and it was very personal, of course, and she didn't want to share with many people, and she shared it with me. And I was in a shock. I didn't know what to say. And Carol's like, oh, it's okay. I'll deal with it. And she was just so positive and just so courageous and so amazing. And I was so inspired by her and how she dealt with all the horrible things that life throws you away. So I really appreciate you so much. And thank you so much. And I think how you deal with difficult things that come your way, we all deal with difficult things, right? Shows how we can persevere and teaches us that life is important and we can actually choose whether we're survivors or we're victims. Right? And that's the biggest breakthrough that I had after coming out of the war as a teenager. Am I a victim? And am I going to act like a victim, or am I a survivor? So, as one survivor to another, I love you so much.
I know there are, many people affected by, whether it's through friends and family, through breast cancer survivors or cancer survivors, and I know there are several in the room. And I just want to recognize one of them who's sitting to the back left, Deborah Carr. She's also, she has been through a lot. And funny thing is we met on a plane to Vegas. And she's lifelong friends with Kinsey as well. So it's amazing. And I think Sonata said it best. It's how you deal with things is really your character and appreciate it. So I recognize all the breast cancer survivors and all those who have been affected. and I certainly appreciate them, and that's why we're here today. Let's get on to a very important question that we get asked every day. How's the market? So we're going to talk about how's the market, and what's this disruptor thing they keep talking about?
I'll talk about the market just for a little bit. I'm actually, unfortunately, going to have to leave at like 1:30 sharp. I'm going to have a second on CNBC on Power Lunch talking about the market. The numbers just came out this morning, and the numbers in Florida are incredible. Like all the indicators are through the roof. Sales velocity, inventories down, or level of negotiability is down. So all the good news, and nationally, all these outlets are asking what's going on. So what I can tell you, I tried to translate in English all these numbers, and what it means is that the Northeasterners are coming. We've had the strongest summer across the board, every different market segment, and from Miami up to Jupiter, we've had the best summer. In Miami, it's in 4 years. In Palm Beach, it's in 10 years. So I know that everyone was really busy. So I'm really excited about it, because when you look at the seasonality of our market and the up and down, we're all waiting for the season to start. What the numbers are indicating is this mass exodus from the Northeast to down here in all different brackets. And it's showing now that it's not just the lifestyle, it's not just the palm trees and all this beautiful landscaping that Michael arranged for us. It's the taxes, the impact of taxes. So people are feeling really good right now as it relates to the economy, and at the same time they want to save money in all those high tax states. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Illinois, top 4, that's where they're coming from. So having seen those numbers this morning, I'm super excited.
So you're talking about disruptors, right? And so we're talking about Zillow, right, as a disruptor. So what do we, the agents that are, paying money to Zillow, and Zillow just bought their first home, I believe, in March of this year. And what are they doing? If you see it, and you see it all over the internet, they're sitting there marketing, and so they're taking our money, right, and they're remarketing it, but then they're also now competing directly with us and buying homes and selling them. Okay, so what do I think, Realtor.com, just a lot of different disruptors out there. And so one of the big things is it doesn't take the place of relationships. Okay, that is never going to take the place. People want, and they will pay for a person that has and knows what they're doing in the relationship that they build. So what do I think that I need to do? I just need to make sure that we and our team are on top of our game all the time, that we absolutely provide the best service out there, that we educate our clients and our customers, and that we are involved with. I'm not personally too shook up about the disruptors out there. As far as the market itself, listening to Sonata about that is awesome, right? In some areas of the country, it's definitely softening, okay? And I agree with her that in our area, it's still strong as can be.
Awesome. So I'm on the other coast, so I'm not going to talk much about the market, because our market on the West Coast is a little bit different than over here in Boca. But what I'm going to say is about the disruptors. I think if you are focused on your business and focused on your clients, that there's nothing that's going to step in your way and disrupt that. If you have a steady pipeline of people that love you, know you, and trust you, your business is going to continue on. Zillow can't stop that. iOffers can't stop that. You need to keep in contact with your database. You need to pick up the phone. You need to send thank you cards. It's kind of like going back to the basics, where you use your automated systems to keep your business flowing, but you have to have real life human contact with those people. And if you're having real life human contact, your business is going to keep moving forward without any disruptions.
so agree with Lindsay. I think that the one thing about disruptors is one person's disruptor is somebody else's opportunity. So if you take time and really look at what those disruptors, how they're getting to people and how you can better do it on a more personal level. Everybody wants a human connection. They don't want a computer telling them what to do. It's just a matter of the information is in front of them. You have to be able to provide the insight and the things that the disruptors or Zillow or anybody else can't provide to them.
So I'm going to just ask kind of a question specific to one individual as they go instead of a general question going through. So Sonata, I would ask, we do see you obviously on TV, you're going on CNBC, and we've seen you on $1 Million Listing and such. How did you get involved and put yourself in that position to get, put on TV?
I met Cristiana Mampur in 1993 in Sarajevo, and I was blown away by this woman. She was just a rock star. And she was one of the most courageous people ever going to show the world what was really going on in this besieged city where we were all dying, literally, 4 years, no water, no electricity. And I became obsessed with her. It was like so inspiring. So long story of it is, I got to see the power of media, which is, now I know it can be taken out of context, I'm not really talking about that, but I got to see power of media, of being able to go into a war-torn country where there's so much propaganda and there's so much disinformation, and then you come in and you show what the people are really going through, you show the suffering of people, because you were all, I'm sure, watching it at the time in 1992, what we were going through, and it was the only way for people to understand the truth. And since then, I kind of fell into it. When I was in New York, I was helping with The Apprentice, the original Apprentice. And when I moved to Florida, I still had some of those relationships from New York. I didn't do it too much, but I do just enough to complement the business. And it's something I take so much pride in. It's so much work. It can be nerve-wracking because you're going live in front of tens of millions of people and you can't mess up really, or you have to know how to fix something if you do mess up a little bit. But I love my secret lives of the super rich. Now Boca is famous, y'all. Okay? We are all over the world. That was really fun for me because when I first moved to Boca Raton, everyone was sort of teasing me, New York, Boca Raton, it's boring, it's old, it's this, and I was like, no, Boca is cool, I love Boca Raton. Yeah, I love Boca. And so we started showing off, we started with, I want to say 7 years ago, just showing different, magnificent, over the top properties in Boca Raton, and there were some mega mansions here. And started with Secret Lives of the Super Rich. And then that went into a lot of the daytime stuff on CNBC and Fox Business News. And I always, instead of, they all want to talk about Miami, I'm like, no, Boca Raton. And they're like, so what's it like? It's wonderful. You see the palm trees, and you have the fresh ocean air, and you can breathe, and it's green, and it's blue, and so I really, I find it just fascinating, as residents of Boca Raton, there's so many amazing things about it, but there's then the perception, so the PR aspect of it. So I think that's changed over the past 10 years, and it's just really fun. So.
Yeah, no more Seinfeld jokes. Just a little follow-up question to that. How did you prepare for this opportunity? Was there any training that you took? Was there any, communication other than, through your connections?
No, you have to do media coaching. They grill you. You have to be prepared for different and difficult questions. A lot of times, to get the ratings, you have to have some kind of a surprise factor. So it's not just, you know, it's not a layup, I'll tell you that. It's not like here are the questions and, you know, sit there, look pretty, smile, and talk about how fabulous Boca Raton is. I did a lot of media coaching, hired like top coaches in New York, did a lot of on-camera interviews just as training. But I think what was most important, honestly, is just learning how to think, as in to retrain your brain, how to communicate something. And I've been utilizing that much more with clients, as in, for instance, human beings can retain usually 3 things. You know, so when you speak to someone and you want to give them the reasons why you may be the best professional in your field or the market segment, you have to come up with 3 really strong things, and you have to own them. And that's what people pick up, and that's what stays with them. And the other thing I learned too is that you have to speak in a way that people will remember it in however way. And when we go for, you know, listing appointments, or when we meet with buyers, when we're presenting a property, you know, it really helps a lot, because the way a buyer, let's say, or prospect is experiencing that particular property, you have to speak to them in the way that they're going to be able to associate themselves or relate themselves to that, and then what is going to stay with them. Visual descriptions, of course, stay with them, but that's really helped me in so many different ways with the business. But it's way of thinking, and like sometimes challenging ourselves, what we say and how we say it, because we oftentimes get so accustomed to saying the same thing, like have the same canned answer for a different question, right? So like just questioning yourself every time. Let me rethink that. Is that still true? How do I want to say that? You know, what impact is going to have? So.
Thank you. Kristen, you run a very successful team. Who was your first hire? Was it the assistant and admin, or a buyer's agent? And how did you create a team that is this successful in such a short period of time?
So, because I didn't have a lot of money and I was trying to invest in growing, you know, my business, the first thing I thought of is, okay, I need to figure out what exactly I need that can help me to free up time so I can do sales. Because I know that that's, you know, me being in front of people and me going on appointments was the #1 thing. I needed to work with the buyers, I needed to work with the sellers, and I saw myself getting overwhelmed. And so what I did, the first thing I did is I hired a local college student, okay? And a college student was able to help me do some direct mail, because I didn't have a lot of money to market, but I knew that marketing was gonna help me, because remember, I didn't have referrals, I didn't know people, right? So you wanna talk about starting a business from ground zero, that's where I was at. I didn't, you know, a lot of people know people, right, to where they can get the referrals and everything else. So I knew I had to need to market. So that's what I did, and that's why my mentor was so, you know, good for me, because I needed to do the marketing. So I hired a college student, and he actually was an apprentice. He was actually another realtor in the office, had him working for me, and he was like my apprentice, and then I started paying him a little bit, but not a lot. So he knew enough technology, and he wanted him more to get experience working with me. His dad did. So that was awesome. It was costing me literally nothing at first, then $8 and $9, you know, an hour, and he was really a strong influence to free me up to go out on more appointments. Then my second hire was a virtual assistant, because I could hire somebody who was college educated, who was very smart, and was also somebody I would pay in, you know, make a lot of money here, which I didn't have to be able to grow my business. So hiring that virtual assistant was able to let me afford what I needed to grow. And then after that, I hired an inside sales agent, okay, again, virtually, and because that, again, would free me up so I could go on more appointments. Because my key was to go on as many appointments as I could. So in doing this, allowed me to be freed up where I could handle 60 transactions on my own, okay? But because I was still the salesperson, you know, a lot of people want to go out and they want to hire a buyer's agent first. And that's really not the direction, you know, if you want to get in front of the people. So then I hired a buyer's agent,
Great, and you're known for your systems. How many systems do you have currently?
We have a few hundred.
Yeah. So a few hundred systems. So, when you look at real estate agents and they ask, well, how am I going to be successful? We all talk about focus. But the second thing, we talk about how do you focus? And focusing is through systems. And those systems, having 300 systems for every person knowing what to do next is so important. So if you have any questions of Kristen after, definitely ask her about some systems. Kinsey. So I visited Kinsey's office, and I gotta say, it is definitely Kinsey. It's pink.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun.
You know what it is? It's there's no one that really knows her audience better than Kinsey. So how did you either come up with that theme, and maybe tell us a little bit about your office, and why did you want to be a broker owner?
Right? Like, who wants to be in charge? Especially of a lot of agents. So I have a small boutique RE/MAX franchise. We have 19 agents, and down office is pink and sparkly, and I have pink sparkly brick walls and lots of glitter, and you may walk in and get a glitter bomb if you're having a bad day. So, but why I really wanted to be a broker and an owner, and this started as soon as I got my real estate license. I had a goal set in mind that within 10 years of me having my license, that I would have my own brokerage. One of the reasons I wanted my own brokerage was to be able to have an amazing group of people that I can surround myself with that hold themselves to the highest level of professionalism. I don't know how many times a day you get a contract and all the boxes aren't even checked. You see how other agents are kind of running their businesses. They're not holding themselves to the highest ethical standards as possible. They're cutting corners. When I opened my brokerage, I realized that there's a lot of compliance, and a lot of brokerages are not holding themselves to those levels of compliance that really need to be focused on within the business. You miss checking one box, and it can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So being able to control that within my team of agents is very, very important, because I think that gives us a really good name in our area, and people know that they can trust us with the largest purchases of their life. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And the foosball table.
Oh, yeah, and we also, we do have a foosball table in the back and air hockey for the kids. So if people come into the office and they need to bring their children with them, they can be entertained. We do guitar lessons at night in our training center. So there's a local foundation called the Tabarini Foundation. They needed a home to do guitar lessons. So on a Tuesday and Wednesday night in our office, you'll find about 15 kids with guitars. They make it a point to make sure every single child that wants to learn how to play an instrument has the opportunity to do so. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays get a little crazy in the training center because tons of kids playing guitar, dancing, singing. We also, we're in a busy downtown area, so we have bike nights, music walk, art walk. So you could come by on a Friday night and there could be a band set up on our corner and a bar outside our office. Yeah, it's awesome, and it's a great source of foot traffic for the agents as well. But it's also a fun place to be. Sometimes you'll find the agents across the street at what we call the satellite office, which would be the bar. But it's a great, fun, exciting group of people that we have. We work together as a family. It's not a competition within the office. Everybody helps each other out, and it's just a really fun, great place to be.
Leanna, so you also decided to be a broker partner of Engel Volkers after being obviously a successful agent. What made you decide to choose Engel Volkers, and then what made you decide to be a broker partner?
Well, through my years of international travel, I would see Engel & Volker's offices in some of the most exclusive and intriguing areas of the world. I would love just to go in and see what they had for sale and get an idea of what you could buy in different places. And then when Engel & Volkers came to Delray Beach, I was thrilled to be invited to join. I really saw it as an opportunity to combine my passion for travel with my real estate experience. And so I did, and it went really well. And then the owner at the time decided to go in a different direction, and I did not want to quit. So I took a big leap of faith with my partner Lenny and made a big investment, and it has really paid off for us. We are so happy there. The company, the brand, is been very supportive and tremendous to us. And I feel like a home, our brand is built on a very solid foundation. 40 years, started in Hamburg, Germany, and it really has allowed me the opportunity to make friends around the world and to really have the true international experience. I think that every office and every advisor is an integral part of what makes us prosperous, and it's a community really worth supporting.
I think we only have a little bit of time left for Sonata, so if there are some questions for our panelists, we'll open up to Q&A. If you want to raise your hand, or I'll ask a question. Yes, all right.
Kristen, how long were you just an agent before you decided to start to actually grow your team and become a broker? How long were you?
So I'm not a broker.
Oh, you're not?
No, I work with Dave. But
She might have more agents than
I have a very small team. Yeah, but what grew my team is because I saw that I was, at first I never, kind of like what Sonata was saying earlier, you can kind of get down and out and everything, or you can just kind of like, I just brushed myself up, picked myself up, and said, you just gotta go do it. You just gotta do whatever it takes. So I never believed I would be where I am today, just with everything that I've got going on. But what I did is I started, mindset of that, and then it just started growing, because I was doing, I feel, the right thing for the people, and it wasn't about me, it was about the people I was working with. And because of that, our business started to grow, and because of that, I had to grow a team. Yeah. So it kind of like, I kind of fell into it.
Michelle.
It's actually a comment. Kristen is the real deal. We've known each other a long time, and she is truly one of those genuine, hardworking people. And I just think since I get bruises sometimes, which is also how it is, but it's sound, solid advice, and I value that. And she's just a gem.
Great. Any more questions? Questions? Don't be shy. You're agents. Yes.
I must say something. Watching Sonata and the way a person can always look to achieve a higher status and train herself to be a professional in such a distinguished way has really, I always kept my license as local in New York. I had 7 offices up there. And I never thought that I would get back into real estate, except when I bought my last move, Sonata was the listing agent. And I kept my broker's license down here with another company and did my own business. But watching her is really a treat. It's an inspiration to everybody to watch somebody that can always look to achieve a higher goal.
Apparently you help. Right? Yeah. You know, and it's a testament, you know, to everyone's character when you prepared for the opportunity. We talk about, you know, preparation. You never know when that opportunity arises, and if you're not prepared, you're not going to take it. So certainly, very, very, you know, appreciative of all our panelists. So. Yes, Rebecca.
Rebecca, the millennial, has a question for all the ladies up there. As most of you know, I'm the millennial of the office here, and so I want to ask all of you, actually, what advice would you give your 25-year-old self? That's a great question. Thank you.
You want to be a moderator?
No, thank you. I'm the person.
I'll start. First of all, believe. Believe in yourself. That's one thing I never stopped doing, is believing in who I was and what I could achieve. I just had to make sure that my obstacles, I was being able to step over them and make them a learning experience. The more we fail, the better we get. Okay, so all of us have stories in here, and you know, probably several of you can relate to me, okay, because I always have when I talk, because I do talk with, you know, around the country. I always have people coming up to me all the time and saying, I can relate to you, okay? So believe in yourself, brush yourself off, get yourself up. It's okay to fail, and it actually makes you believe in more. So 25 years old, and for you, and you know, we've talked, so I kind of, with Rebecca, I kind of said, I'm gonna hold you accountable, okay? Because she has something she wants to achieve, and I said, I'm gonna be the one holding you accountable, and she said, please do. So get together with somebody. What are your dreams? What do you want to accomplish? Okay? And have somebody, and tell and share. And have somebody else hold you accountable to that stuff. Because once we start talking about it, and especially at 25 years old, I have a millennial brother, okay, that's 32, and you know, I have, you know, and it's just believing in who we are. We can do anything, and it's okay to fail. And that's the one thing that I really tell everybody, don't be scared of failing.
I want to hear from everyone.
I agree with that. You're gonna get knocked down, kicked in the teeth. You know, get up, wipe yourself off, and just keep moving forward. Because it happens. It could happen 5 times in one day. And you know what? Make sure you're smiling when you go to bed at night. And when you wake up in the morning, just thank God that you're still alive. And you can continue moving on with your life and moving forward.
And you know, some of you may not know, but Kinsey is an organ donor recipient. And she has a pretty amazing story as well. And it, you know, puts life in perspective when you're faced with that.
I think that a lot of things that are holding back millennials is fear, like you said, fear of failure. And I think it's important just to do one thing a day that scares you. And whether it works out or not, you did it, you got through it, and you moved on, and it really will help you a lot in your career.
Wow, that was such a great question. I think the one advice, you know, that I would have given myself at 25 was to meditate daily, before sleep, before going to sleep, and you know, once you wake up and setting your intentions. Because what I got in the business, we are serving others, we're serving our clients and friends and family and playing all these roles that we oftentimes get lost in all these different roles. It's like so important to regroup and have that spiritual outlet, whatever that looks like, and be able to not just eat, live, breathe real estate, as fabulous as it is, but actually have that inner peace and that center that's going to keep you very grounded. I agree with everyone when they said, you know, ups and downs and crazy things, and when you think you've seen it all, something else happens. So the one thing that I've learned now is I expect that I'm going to end up going on an emotional roller coaster. I try to minimize it, right? And so what I always tell myself is just try to, step back a little bit, take a look at what's going on, why are you taking things so personally. So I guess the advice is not to take things too personally, but at the core is just to keep that center very, very strong.
And I just want to add one more thing, or two really quick things. Figure out your why, okay? What makes you do what you do every single day is bigger than yourself. Okay, servant leaders, or, make sure that you know what you're serving for. Charities, that's a big thing to me. Being able to give back. Being able to watch people develop and people to be successful is one of my big, big whys. I help build people to be, and that's huge for me, but that's what mine is. So try to figure out what yours is. And the other thing is pick your mentors. So one of my big mentors is Tony Robbins. So it just, did Date with Destiny and did all the, Empower, Unleash the Power and Business Mastery. And all, so find somebody that is yours. Darren Hardy's another one of mine. So, figure out what that is and embracing those people.
Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, you can see the four of them up here are extremely focused. And I think focus is a big deal, and going to what Sanada's point was, to meditate or at least become intentional during the 15, 20, 30 minute, however, every day is so important to complete a task at hand, because you could see that we've had 7 phone calls, 1,400 emails probably in the last 2 hours, and many texts. So there's a lot of information out there to overwhelm you. We have any more questions? No more? That's it? All right. Well, I do want to thank these ladies. They are phenomenal people, and as you got to hear their stories, their advice for all of you, and we're here to, really help each other, build each other up, just like, building buildings. And we certainly appreciate it. I want to thank again Royal Palm Polo and Toll Brothers. They really helped put this on, and we sincerely thank them very much, Michael and Aaron and the whole team out there. If you haven't seen the new project, or you need a little update, they will be there with white gloves on after this, right? And they'll be happy to show you around, let you know the new pricing, give you some ideas, and maybe help partner with marketing. So we appreciate everyone. And the last thing I want to say is this was a very amazing charity that we're giving to, and it's a local charity. And we wanted to choose local, and Rebecca Steinhaus, again, really put this on, so we do appreciate her very much. And it's also one dear to my heart. As I said, everyone pretty much is affected. My aunt passed away of breast cancer. My grandmother had complications, that led to her passing of breast cancer. So if there are any, and I'd like to just recognize if there are any breast cancer survivors in the room, I'd like you to stand up.
Trial to help women with dense breast, and they found HER2-positive breast cancer with me. It's a very aggressive cancer. They don't talk much about that. Women, it's October, please get checked, because I'm fortunate that they found it, because this year, if they'd have found it, it would have been my brain, bone, or lung. So please get treated, tell your friends, hold their hands, take them, get checked out, be aware. And when you give to this foundation, they've been very good to me, because cancer breaks the bank, okay? So I just want you to know what you're giving today helped me. Thank you very much.
Deborah just shared with me a clean MRI, is that correct? So, to everyone, thank you again. We very much appreciate it. Hopefully you will network a little bit more, and you'll know our names, and we'll talk to each other. We'll sell each other's listings. We'll visit Sonata's projects, and and appreciate it very much. Thanks so much. Rebecca will be back with the wrap.
Raffle in 10 minutes. 10 minutes to the raffle.
Thank you for tuning in, and more pictures will be posted soon.